Here's a quick question for all of you. When you're talking to somebody, do you expect that person to give the kind of undivided attention and interest towards your talks? Or is it okay for you if the person is ignoring you while you're talking, like maybe busy with the mobile or whatever? I am sure, and it is a very obvious answer, that most of us will say, obviously, we would opt for the former response, not the latter one, right? We want that kind of undivided attention. We want that kind of interest from the other person when we are, trying to talk or trying to communicate with the other person. Now, when this communication is going on, it's not just about the talks that happens between two people. It is also the kind of energy exchange that is taking place between two people. And when I say energy exchange, it is like when I'm presenting something, when I am talking something to the other person needs to reciprocate in that way, in on that level of interest that I am presenting my talks towards that person. Now, if that person doesn't really reciprocate in the way I am expecting, then obviously my response will be based on the kind of reciprocation I am going to get. If the person is really interested, asks me questions, wants to discuss further, I will show that kind of energy, right? On the other hand, if the other person is disinterested, is not really bothered about the talks, then obviously my energy will be based on this kind of response and I will kind of stop my communication in a way. Now, we need to understand one subtle thing, that this kind of energy exchange that I just gave you an example of doesn't just take place between two people. Yes, it takes place between the tasks that we take up. you know as a homemaker, I'll take up the task that is assigned to me, and as a professional, people just take up those things that they are supposed to deliver as professionals. Now they are having an energy exchange with the kind of tasks they are undertaking. This kind of knowledge is very much necessary for us whenever we get into a particular task during the day. And when we realize that the energy exchange happens even at this level, we will be very kind of alert that the kind of energy that I'm going to give towards my task is going to be the kind of results I'm going to get in return based on the completion of those tasks. So, this kind of subtle knowledge is very necessary in order to understand that whatever I take up needs to be done on an energy level. And when I say on an energy level, it means I need to complete my task on a very um, kind of applying a perspective wherein I'm consciously there. I am not like just doing it for the sake of it. I am doing it in the most mindful way. That's the word. We need to apply the mindfulness in these tasks if we want the kind of result that we are expecting. So, in today's video, I will be talking exactly about that, the ways in which we can achieve mindfulness in our homemaking tasks. Hi, I'm Vaishnavi, and my channel is all about homemaking motivation, anything and everything that is concerned with homemaking motivation. I always try and come up with the content on my channel. And yes, I firmly believe that homemaking is a job, and this job is not just confined to the cooking and cleaning in the house, but it is much beyond these concepts. And I also talk a lot about the mental health and the kind of emotional health of us homemakers. So if you are new to this channel and you like such kind of content, then please do consider to subscribe to my channel. And if you're already a part of this beautiful community, then please welcome back. So without any further ado, let's start today's content. When we wake up in the morning, let's make it a point that we are going to set intentions for our day ahead. And when I say set intentions, it means that we need to kind of program ourselves in a way that we are going to design a day which will cater to our needs for that particular task. So, for example, if I set an intention of staying productive, extremely productive for the day, I am going to kind of have the kind of tools that will help me in, attaining that kind of productivity for that day. And when I say setting intention for being productive, the best and the classic example of trying to stay productive is by using a to-do list. So as a homemaker, I need to give importance to such tools. I should not take it very casually. I should not just wake up and say, okay, this is my job, all right, yet another day, all right, let me go to the kitchen. This kind of attitude really it spoils the entire essence of homemaking, in my opinion. So when I wake up, I need to have that kind of intentions that I have for the day. What is it that I'm looking for the day? What is it that I'm going to achieve for the day? It's not like, oh, I'm just a homemaker, all I have to do is cooking and cleaning, I'll do that and that's it. That will not give us the kind of motivation that we are looking for to stay productive for the entire day. So yes, it becomes important if I want to have an approach of mindfulness towards my homemaking tasks. It becomes very important for me as a homemaker to set intentions right at the beginning of the day. And it can not just be productivity, it can also be, I want to set an intention of trying to invest the time in kind of self care, self love. So fine, that is the intention of the day. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm programming my mind in a way that I am going to be there 100% in whatever task I am going to take. So when I have this particular approach towards my tasks, and I say that I need to set intentions for the day, it only means that I am consciously preparing myself for those particular tasks. And I am not allowing it to stay monotonous. I'm not allowing it to just go on a mechanical level, on a physical level. Rather, I want to achieve the mindfulness by way of setting intentions, by way of being there 100% with whatever I'm going to do for the day. I am planning it, I am programming myself in a way that I am going to stay alert, I am going to stay mindful, and this kind of mindfulness will, make me feel the job is so important. It will make me feel that the job is challenging, but I love to take up challenges. It makes me feel that, this particular job is going to give joy to my family members. For example, cooking, the kind of cooking that I do with the kind of mindfulness is going to make my family members happy, and this kind of happiness is kind of a reward for me as a homemaker. So everything is so correlated. But if I lack the interest at the very beginning of the day, that is, I wake up in the most a disinterested way, I wake up in the most uh, you know um, uh, very mechanical approach I have in my mind when I wake up, and I just say that, oh, I'm a homemaker, let me start my day. That will really not motivate us to do more for that day. So, yes, it becomes important. The number one step that you need to keep in your mind if you want to achieve mindfulness in your homemaking is that you need to set intentions for that day. You need to plan that day. You need to design the kind of day you're going to have ahead. Many of us have taken the task of homemaking in the most conscious way. Of course, we have consciously decided that yes, this is a job that I'm really happy about. This is something I always wanted to do. And as I said, it's a very conscious choice. But some days, we forget to stay alert in that way, or to keep up with that level of consciousness. We start feeling a little demotivated, we start feeling a little aimless, and we feel that, okay, fine, so what? This is a job, I'll just finish it and that's it. There are times we are not robots, right? We can get such feelings. We can feel that, all right, so what? This is a job, let me finish it. At that time, it becomes very important for us to realize the importance of staying mindful during our homemaking process. And that can be achieved if we start engaging our senses. Our senses play such a vital role in everything that we take up. I mean, even the sense of smell is so underrated. We just take everything for granted. Okay, fine, this is the task I need to do, I'll finish it, so next task, so next, what is next after that? We just go on doing it in the most mechanical way, and end of the day we feel that, yeah, I finished everything, I accomplished everything, so what? Did I really enjoy my job? you know that is the question we sometimes get in our minds. We feel that I'm doing the same thing, the same repetitive thing, I'm doing it every day, what is so great about it? It's so monotonous. Such thoughts are going to cross your mind, but believe me, it is at that time that you need to have the knowledge that you need to stay mindful during your homemaking tasks. And that can be achieved when you start engaging your senses. Now, what do I mean by engaging your senses in your tasks? It's very simple things that we need to take care of. Maybe I'm doing my laundry. I need to take that extra time to smell the fragrances of the detergent and just make it so interesting for myself and make it so mindful. Like, my 100% is there. When I'm doing laundry, my 100% I'm giving it to it. When I'm doing something related to cooking, I am taking the aroma of all the flavors that I'm using. Even when I'm putting something for the whatever I'm cooking, it's a good idea, I just smell it, I feel that I'm doing something creative, I'm creating a new recipe. So I'm engaging all my senses, I am trying to stay mindful, I'm giving it my 100%. When you do things in this way, then see the magic. It's like I just go to the kitchen, I start doing the cooking process, and I just complete it, come out of the kitchen. I did not enjoy it, right? I just did it in the most monotonous way. But if I stay mindful, you know what I'll do? I will, start the cooking process in a way that I'm doing the best job in this world. I'm going to engage my senses in the way of looking at the vegetables, admiring its color, engaging my senses in terms of, as I said, I'm going to take all the aroma of all the flavors available in the kitchen. I am going to engage my senses in way of, even when I'm doing something that maybe the frying, the sound of frying can be something that will excite me, excite my senses. Why not? I mean, these are the tasks that I'll be taking up during the day. And if I do it in the most interesting way, who is going to be beneficial? Me, of course. So if I take up all these mundane tasks in the most engaging way, in the most mindful and conscious way, believe me, that will keep me motivated. Now it is just an option for me whether I want to stay motivated or I want to just feel monotonous and not really love my job. It's up to me. So if I have the knowledge that yes, I need to make my homemaking the most mindful experience, then I'll start engaging my senses in this way. And as I just quoted the examples of, while doing the laundry or maybe while cooking, there are many other things. I go for the gardening and I admire the kind of leaves, the kind of the colors, the flowers, the way I'm watering them. Maybe I can even talk to the plants because it is scientifically proven that the more you talk to the plants will grow better. They'll give you more flowers, whatever you're looking for. So I can engage myself in the most mindful way and not, make it monotonous or not make it boring. So the more I stay mindful, I'm looking forward for more things during the day. I'll stay motivated. And that is the essence of staying mindful during my homemaking tasks. Believe me, we have taken a lot of things for granted in life. Believe me when I say this. And I'm no exception. I have taken so many things for granted. For example, I'm sitting right now, I'm able to breathe, I'm able to talk, I'm able to communicate, I'm able to feel good. I'm in a very good state of health. My mental health is fine. I am spiritually gaining something good. I'm spiritually even sharing something good. But all these things, sometimes I may take it for granted, right? The very breathing, for example, is taken for granted at times. But Ask those people who have problem in breathing. Ask people who have been unfortunate that they did not wake up this morning. Yes, unfortunately, this happens. People just, face ill health. So at that time, it becomes very important that we start showing gratitude even for the smallest things that is available for us. I should wake up with a sense of gratitude that yes, I woke up in the morning. I'm able to breathe. I'm alive. If we start placing gratitude even in the most smallest things that we consider, or the most negligible things that we feel, that is when we start appreciating everything around us. And there are times, when we feel that, and it's not just for homemakers. Even if you're a professional, even if you've taken up something other than homemaking, there are times when you feel that, oh, why am I doing this anyway? I'm not interested. It has become so monotonous. It happens, right? Sometimes we feel so disinterested. We feel so disconnected from the kind of passion we had for a particular thing. It happens. We're human beings. It happens. At that point of time, if we start realizing that how grateful I need to stay, that I have this job in my hand, that I am able to wake up, I'm able to go out and earn bread, I'm able to stay at home, do my homemaking tasks. That kind of realization will make us understand that it is important to stay grateful. So, this attitude of gratitude is very important in order to achieve that kind of mindfulness in homemaking. So, I'm not waking up as a homemaker and taking everything for granted. I'm not the one who is going to tell that, okay, I have to finish this task. Okay, I'm a homemaker. Fine, I'll finish it. I'll just do it. And that's it. My task is done. My job is done. That will make my life so something that is, the life will seem so um colorless, or I'm not getting a better word to express, but it will not motivate me in any way. But on the other hand, when I wake up as a homemaker and I say that, oh, I'm so grateful, I have this opportunities to serve my family, I have this opportunity because God has given me this kind of good health, I am supposed to stay grateful. I am supposed to show that attitude of gratitude. So, this kind of mindset will completely change my perspective, of homemaking. The way I look at my homemaking job, I will start feeling the motivation within that it is indeed a privilege that I'm able to do these tasks. There are so many people who are unable to do that. So I need to consider myself so lucky that yes, I'm able to wake up, I'm able to do it. Because many of us, sometimes we feel that burden, right? Let's be honest to each other. We feel that burden. We feel like I'm doing too much. It's overwhelming. And I'm not talking just about homemakers. I'm talking about everybody here, everyone who is trying to make their day, who is out there to do something to stay productive. They will get this feeling of that we are overwhelmed, we have to do so much. And as a homemaker, it's so very, the entire job is so demanding. I have to be there, I have to be everywhere. you know that sense of, as I said, feeling that having that feeling of staying overwhelmed about something. At that point of time, if we say that let's not stay overwhelmed, or let's not feel the kind of burden that we're feeling right now, rather let's show the gratitude that I'm able to do that. I am given this privilege to do that, to do this particular task, to be of some help, to be of some service to my family. So, this kind of attitude is very much important in order to stay mindful as a homemaker. You can just test it and try it on your own. That your attitude, changes everything. It's a game changer for you in your life. the more you feel that everything is taken for granted, and you feel that okay, fine, this is there, so what, I have to just finish it, so what, I did it, so what, it was such a task, I just did it, I'm a homemaker, so what. This kind of attitude will not motivate us from within. Rather, if I feel that, oh, it is such a privilege, oh, I'm so grateful to God that I have got this job, I am so grateful that I'm of some service to others, I am, trying to stay productive and helping myself as well. And all this is happening because I can do it. I can wake up. I can do it. My physical health is fine. So, this kind of gratitude, this kind of self talk will ensure that we are going to put our 100% into our job and make it more mindful. So, this particular element is again very necessary for us to keep in mind in order to achieve the mindfulness in our homemaking. We all face fatigue. We all face that kind of feeling so low on energy. We are not robots, we are human beings. Most of us, we have this a feeling of as I said, the fatigue, or end of the day we will feel the lack of energy in us. It is very natural, very obvious, because the kind of tasks are so demanding during the day that we have to put in our energy efforts towards that. So it is obvious, as I said, it is very natural that at least by the end of the day I'll start feeling that kind of burden, or that kind of that fatigue, as I said, physically, mentally, emotionally, in every way possible I experience the fatigue. So it becomes very important for me to understand that it's no good to just work around the clock just because I want to prove myself as a productive homemaker. Having the mindfulness approach towards homemaking means you need to realize that breaks are important. And what kind of breaks is also important. What kind of breaks you're taking is very important. You need to realize that breaks is not in terms of holding a mobile and mindlessly scrolling and seeing your social media. In my opinion, I don't think that will really help us in any way. So, when I say mindful break as a homemaker, in order to achieve the mindfulness, I need to have some self reflection during those breaks. Maybe listening to some spiritual podcasts can be termed as a mindful break. It can also be, evaluating yourself, evaluating your productivity in those breaks. Or maybe you can also do meditation during breaks. So let us always stay conscious about the fact that it is also very important the way we take breaks. In what way are we taking these breaks? As I said, now if I just get engaged with the mobile, that is, as I just mentioned, the mindless scrolling that we do, maybe we'll get into shopping also, who knows, we just open our favorite website and maybe we are so overwhelmed and experiencing that fatigue that we'll say, okay, let me pamper myself, let me go and do some shopping. Usually such shopping will be like something so mindless and impulsive that later we will feel bad that it wasn't necessary, why did I get into that shopping, right? So it becomes very important for us to take mindful breaks. When I say mindful breaks, it means even the breaks that we're taking, we're doing it in the most conscious way. It's not just like monotonous, it's not mechanical again. And also one more disadvantage of engaging ourselves with the mobile during those breaks is that we'll be watching so many contents that's available on the social media, we don't even realize that the break that I had decided only for 10 minutes can go up to 45 minutes. You never know. That is the kind of mindless breaks that really destroys us in terms of our productivity. So yes, as a homemaker, if you want to achieve mindfulness in your homemaking tasks, then also be conscious about the kind of breaks you're taking. And that's the reason why I'm emphasizing that it is important to have those mindful breaks wherein you're doing some kind of self reflection. You may do some meditation, listen to something very productive like some spiritual podcast or something that really matters in order for you to stay motivated throughout the day. Have you ever realized that most of us, we do the cooking and eating in the most monotonous way? We are not mindful during those times. Have you ever realized that? Or have you ever given the kind of emphasis on this point, that how exactly should I do the cooking, or how exactly should I do the serving, or for that matter, how am I consuming the food, or how are my family members consuming the kind of food that we have during lunch, dinner, or breakfast? Have we ever given it a thought? We just do it in the most, as I said, mechanical, monotonous way. We don't really do it in the mindful way. So I would like to emphasize on the point that a process like cooking is the most important part of our daily life. Yes, very important. It's so important that, you know, a lot of emphasis should be given consciously towards this process as a homemaker. So when I get into the kitchen, the number one thing that I need to keep in my mind is the kind of mood that I'm carrying. What is my emotional health at that particular point of time? I am emphasizing on this point because if I enter the kitchen in a very unpleasant mood, I enter the kitchen and I'm doing the things in a way that, my energy is passing on to the cooking that I'm doing. So if I'm in a very unpleasant mood, be rest assured that is the energy I'm putting into the cooking. And you know what happens? What's the next consequence of all such things? This cooking goes in the form of the food that is going to be served on the dining table. And that food is carrying that kind of energy, that is my unpleasant mood, that is consumed by my family members. It's consumed by me as well. And this kind of energy, when we are consuming together, and then we have some difference of opinion or clashes at home, we are surprised. We are surprised, why are we having difference of opinions? We do not understand what is going on in the background in the most subtle way. Yes, it is the energy that I'm carrying as a homemaker when I'm cooking. So, the number one thing that we need to keep in our mind is when I'm entering the kitchen, I need to have that kind of mindset that I'm doing the most wonderful job on earth, that is cooking for my family. And my mindset, my emotional health should be very pleasant, because that's the kind of energy that will go into the cooking. Yes, it is true. It is very much true. So, in ancient times, like, or maybe during the times of our grandmas and all, we always used to hear this thing, that they usually used to sing god songs like bhajans or something while cooking. You know why they used to do that? Because they intentionally, mindfully wanted to put that kind of energy into the cooking, into the foods, because it was going to be consumed by their dear ones, by their loved ones. So we need to understand, we need to go back to that kind of culture. We need to understand the essence of cooking, and that is mindful homemaking. So, yes, the number one thing is I need to understand that my emotional health is intact when I'm taking up the kitchen task. And the second thing is I need to enjoy the process of cooking. It shouldn't be that, oh, I have to cook, I have to cook, I have to do this item, I have to do this item, and that stress, that kind of pressure that I'm putting on myself, it's of no use. So always make sure that you are relaxed, you're in the most pleasant mood, and you have a mind of serving people. You have that service mindedness. You are excited about the fact that this food is going to be consumed by my loved ones, and it should be the best. Obviously, each one of us have that intention, right? We want the best nutrition, we want the best food to be served on table for our loved ones, no denial. But we forget certain subtle things that is happening in the background. Maybe it's lack of knowledge, maybe nobody taught us, but let's be grateful to the kind of knowledge that is available right now around us, especially when it comes to the spiritual aspect. And the spiritual aspect dictates it tells us that anything we do, anything we take up, there is an energy exchange. Let's be very conscious about that particular point. And when this energy exchange happens, it happens even in the process of cooking. So my energy matters. My the kind of energy I'm carrying to the kitchen, the kind of energy I'm having on a mental level is going to get transferred to the food that I'm going to eat. So let's be very conscious. If we want to achieve mindfulness in homemaking, then cooking is the most essential aspect of homemaking, of course. And that should be taken care in the most mindful way. And then we can see all the kind of magic happening in our houses. I hope you liked today's content, and I would highly appreciate if you would share your feedback in the comments below. The intention behind making this content was that we sometimes lack the knowledge. We sometimes feel that we know everything and we're doing in the most perfect way. But still, at the end of the day, we are not happy with our job. We are not really excited. We are not looking forward for, this kind of task again, and we just do it in the monotonous and mechanical way. So the intention of this content was, let us understand, let us explore in our own way the subtle things that go on in the background of homemaking, and let us not just keep it on a very mechanical and monotonous way. Let us understand the true meaning of achieving mindfulness. And mindfulness, again, I want to stress on the point that mindfulness is nothing but being there, giving your 100%, putting that kind of energy towards a task that you're taking up if you want the kind of result in return from those tasks. It is as simple as that. You need to put the kind of energy to get that kind of energy. That's all to conclude. So, as I said, I hope you like the content, and that's all about it for today's video. And please take care of yourselves and a very happy homemaking until we meet in the next video.